Welcome, listeners. Today we are delighted to bring you another inspiring episode of Tahaddi, the podcast dedicated to helping you enhance your management skills and navigate your career journey. Your host, Sameh Makki, your go-to expert in project management and career coaching. Every Wednesday, we invite esteemed guests to join us and share valuable insights from their respective industries. They will provide unique perspectives and practical advice, leaving us all with a nugget of wisdom to apply in our personal and professional lives. Newcomers to our show, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to ensure you stay updated with every new release. Now, let's kick off today's engaging discussion. Stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello and welcome to our exclusive episode today about future project management with intelligence with one of the top voices in the world in the project management field. Our guest is a global thought leader and pioneer of project intelligence and strategic conscious leadership. She holds an MBA, PMP, Prince 2, Agile and Change Management certifications. I think she finished the game. She has till the date 2 decades of experience in project management, business transformation, and organizational change. She is a speaker and educator, elevating leaders and teams on how to leverage technology and the project intelligence across the interconnected layers of business and life. All listeners, please join me in warmly welcoming our esteemed guest for tonight's episode, Paula Alavi. Paula, how are you doing today?
Oh my goodness, I'm doing awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
Really, we are so glad actually to have you, and I'm sure that you have two insights and experience regarding the future of the project management, and I think our knowledge will be enriched today with your thoughts.
Oh, that's right. We're all going to be learning together for sure. It's always a great joy to come in and share from my experience, from, ideas from research, and to actually get our industry to actually wake up to the change that currently exists and what we need to embrace to what I call becoming strategic project leaders. So I'm so excited for today.
Amazing. That is amazing. Thanks a lot for all joiners up to now, and thanks a lot also for the people who are going to join our episodes. And maybe some people actually don't have time right now, so they will watch our episodes after streaming on our channels for YouTube, Facebook, and our pages also on LinkedIn. Paula, let me start by one concern before even going in deep actually into our discussion today regarding the role of the project manager. I remember that when I started to learn about PMP and the project management professional, maybe 15 years ago or something like this, the role of the project managers was to concentrate on 3 items regarding time, cost, and the quality. And after that, they added some for scope. Later on, after maybe 4 or 5 years, we have started to get the feedback from BMI and other entities regarding, no, you have to be also, you have to have some of the business acumen, and you have to follow the benefit management plan with the business owner and so on. And finally, we are ending actually maybe before 1 or 2 years, we are ending with, no, you have to get to know great actually regarding soft skills or power skills regarding emotional intelligence and leadership and communication, and you have to master these skills. And finally, right now, actually, you have to be a strategic leader, you have to be a visionary leader, and also many tools which will help us actually in project management regarding the intelligence and the outcomes of our project. What do you think regarding the expectations right now about the project manager's role?
Thank you so much for that question. I mean, this is one that I hear a lot. And when I talk to other thought leaders, I've got different spectrums. Some leaders talk about the PM should just focus on triple constraints, and that's what they actually there to do. And that's right. However, we look at the world we live in today, we talk about a completely vocal world where it's volatile, it's complex, things are ever changing, regulations, there's just so many moving parts. And just like any other profession, the key to driving success is adaptability and agility. And so when you think about that, organizations are out there to actually be profitable, or if it's a nonprofit, they are actually out there to make an impact. And projects are there to help drive the outcomes that organizations actually are looking for. So when we think about strategy, when it gets set, right, organizations and the C-suite executive teams and the strategy group go out and set strategy. The project managers come in and help execute on those strategies. But the thing that we know today is the fact that the markets are constantly shifting. Even on our projects, right, things are constantly changing. And how can you as a project professional be ahead of the curve? How can you not just, as Sameh has rightly said, deliver your projects on time, on budget, on schedule? Those are great and in scope, but what about the business element of it? And I'll give you an example. I remember going into an organization where I had a PM sit there and say, Fola, I have delivered my project based on the project chatter. I delivered a successful project. And I said, yes, you did. However, when we look at this IT overall implementation, the market actually changed 6 months into your project. And for a PM who has evolved into a strategic project leader, for example, you should be able to understand the times. You talk about business acumen. Or you need to actually not just be on top of your project, but understand the business landscape, where you can go back to your project sponsor and say, hello, project sponsor. My project right now, we need to go back and recalibrate and reevaluate. So that comes back to the business skills and having that strategic leadership where you're looking beyond just your project. You are now looking at the business outcomes. I love calling this, it's more like a strategic sphere where you look at the different elements, right? You want to drive success, but the goal here is about value, right? And so the confluence we're trying to create is projects are there, PMs are actually there, but the overall goal is about creating value. And how can we do that? We need to ensure that we've got the business skills. We can actually deal with stakeholders. We understand the market. We understand regulations, because at the end of the day, the leaders who are the ones who can move up as well, the corporate ladder, are those who demonstrate these leadership skills. And so I always ask my PMs and say, do you want to remain a PM forever? That's okay. You can say, I want to be an SME. I just want to be there. I want to just do the basic stuff. But who are those leaders who want to evolve? Just like Tammy would say, we want to drive change. We want to be the ones who are making an impact. Those are the ones who have to position to become strategic project leaders, leveraging strategic leadership skills. As you said, we have the power skills in there. You're a great communicator. You understand value. And overall, we create the outcomes that organizations actually need.
It's amazing, actually, and I fully agree with you. But at the same time, I feel that the project managers right now or today, they have a big challenge. What is this challenge? The number and the volume actually of the skills they have to have while they are working. Because in sometimes and some cases while we are managing our projects, we feel the challenge of the time limitation. We are working more in the technically in the project management with our teams regarding planning and controls and reporting work. At the same time, you are asking me actually to communicate and to master the communication with all of the stakeholders of the project. At the same time, you are telling me that no, you have to go with the top management and start work also in the strategic level. And at the same time, we are following up regarding the benefits of the project and the outcomes, and if we have achieved actually the required value or not. So it's too much. When the project manager is going to do so?
Do some work. Yeah. No. I hear you. The pieces, they are always ever moving parts. Remember, the role of the project manager is pretty much to help drive project success. I don't believe the PM is meant to be down in the weeds and doing the work. You're meant to have a good team who understand what deliverables are. You can actually connect the vision of what the organization actually wants and ensure you coalesce your team to walk towards the particular goal. I think that's the key here. And at times I see PM who almost want to become hands-on. They want to become the engineers, right? They are there to say, no, I think I've read that statement of work. It seems it's totally wrong. We go over and over and over. There are times where you have to become a leader and step back and hire the right technical teams who can help build the actual outcome that you want, and why you do the management, the leadership piece. Of course, you have to communicate. You have to track, you have to track your cost. You have to ensure that the requirements are set. You have to leverage technology, right? We're going to get into that. But the overall piece here is always putting your eyes focused on the prize. A PM is a leader who needs to connect what the business wants to what the team is currently delivering to ensure we create value. And so in doing that, obviously you have to be multifaceted. You have to have a great team where you can delegate. You have to have a team who understands the reason behind the projects. You have to be able to step away and deal with the major issues. And so at times, not everything is one that you have to just flag to executive leadership. Say, what are the key issues that are pressing here? What resources do I need? How do I ensure that I'm not going over budget? As well as embodying sustainable practices. We're going to get into that as well. Overall, a PM is one that has to also be a visionary. You have to become a leader. Move away from manager. That's why we talk about intelligence, right? Leverage the PQ, a greater level of IQ, becoming a leader who is more strategic, who not only delivers projects, but also can actually manage the strategic scenes in the organization and help drive the outcomes that we truly need and that organizations need. We want PMs to step up because there's so much opportunity, there's so much that we can actually leverage when they take on this next level role and shape the future of project management.
Really, I like it. And I'm sure that anyone from the project managers who would like actually to go and develop his or her skills and going on this path, which we are talking about, I'm sure that after some time, maybe not much time, he will be one of the top management or of the strategic leaders actually within the organization. So it's amazing actually. It's preparation plan, if we can say.
That's right. You said it's about preparation. And I tell people it's not also for everyone. Not everyone is going to become a VP. Not everyone is going to become an executive director. Not everyone is going to become a CEO. But for those people who are ready to definitely elevate their skills, those are the ones who are going to say, I need more certification. I want to get an MBA. I want to understand the business and go look at it. Go look at research. The people, the leaders who have been able to even move up and accelerate their careers have to be well-rounded. And that's exactly where we need to start thinking to shape the future of project management. As we said, these are for the leaders, right? The visionaries, not for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. Thanks a lot for joining, Dr. Ahmed Halloub. And he's saying in the chat box, as they say, success is often limited by the vision and the capabilities of its leader when we are speaking about success. And I agree with you, Dr. Ahmed. Paula, today we have many tools, and after the revolution of AI especially, we have many, if we can say, intelligent tools. How can we start to utilize this one? And actually, when I remember that when we had the discussion before getting online or live right now, we have discussed that I'm telling you that intelligence is going with AI and this other tool, and you are telling me no, the matter actually is more comprehensive.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. When we always think about intelligence, the first thing that comes to mind today is AI. AI, as we know, is leading the space, but I want us to go back a little bit to the history of intelligence, right? When we always think about IQ, right? We always need to think about, they say, what's your IQ? How intelligent are you? Intelligence pretty much has actually got different layers. We've got the analytical intelligence, the tricacular theory of intelligence, your ability to actually analyze, problem solve, and pretty much tie goals together. We talk about cognitive capabilities as well. Technology is just a tool. It's just pretty much one component in there when we talk about driving results and getting the outcomes that we want. And so when I think about intelligence, especially in the space of project management, I think about all the key areas that helps you elevate. We talk about strategic acumen, project management mastery. The leverage there is actually where technology actually comes in. And so we then say, how can we gain more efficiency? How can we become, the ones who are probably first to market? And then we can then tie in so many tools that currently exist. But again, before we get to tools, I always want leaders to step away and say, what problem are you trying to solve? What's the problem? What exactly are you going through? Is it now that you're having issues with your plans? Or is it a case of you have so many reports you're trying to pull together? What exactly is the issue? Because when you start thinking more critically about this, we can then fit the right tool, the right kind of intelligence to help propel our projects. Because today is AI, tomorrow is going to be something else. You remember when there was a dot-com bubble, right? Internet.
Yes.
When internet came out years ago, we're like, goodness, what's going to happen? Like, how are we going to do work? The main pieces.
You remind us actually with this dilemma, Yes.
That's right. There's always going to be something. Technology is pretty much a melting platform. It's one where we need to stay ahead of it. There are always going to be tools, but I want leaders, I want project managers to start thinking beyond just AI. Going right to understand what problems are we looking to solve? Do we want to, create better plans? We can talk about Microsoft projects. We talk about Confluence. We talk about there's Monday.com for the basic ones. There's so many little tools that coming out of the woodworks. Power BI for reporting, data analytics. There's so many of all this. There's multi-color simulations. All of those things are AI. Although we never call them that for risk management. But they are models behind the scene helping calculate to help us understand, what's probability of something impacting our project, right? What's the financial impact of this particular risk? All of this is technology. The key is, again, back to what are we trying to, what problems are we trying to solve? How can we gain more efficiency by leveraging those tools? And so as PMs, when they go away and say, when I look at my overall projects, am I trying to gain efficiency when it comes to people, when it comes to probably money, financial reporting, when it comes to planning? So that way, we even collaboration, right? Am I trying to get my teams on one page easily? That way we can say what tool, what kind of technology actually exists to help solve that problem, rather than saying right now, okay, it's AI, I'm just going to go get the latest one. Okay, we're going to add that plugin. It's Copilot, right? You see what I mean? And that's why it's just a little bit nerve-wracking. But I want us to understand that technology has always been at the forefront. And as leaders who are more intelligent, who are strategic, you have to be holistic. Think about the strategic confluence that brings everything together. Say, how can I bring all of these ideas together in a coherent form where I can add value? Technology is just a tool for you.
Really amazing. Yes. I understood from your response that what is applicable actually for all projects, maybe it's not applicable for my projects. And I have to go and dig what are the issues and what are the challenges I'm facing, so I can go and pick the right tool and I will apply it, so I will get the required result. It's amazing actually. It's a good concern for everyone who is exposed to many of the tools right now available from the AI, to not go like this with the stream, only to go to stand and to think what is going to add a value for me and for my projects.
That's right. It's just like when you go, especially within IT, having learned so many transformations, for decades. I remember even like 15 years ago, we had to do like a migration on a major financial services program. Do you know how many legacy IT systems that actually out there we can't even migrate? We keep acquiring. Today's we're going to say, oh, SAP does this, and tomorrow is Microsoft. And we're like, well, listen, you ask the team, what are we really using here for plans? Someone says, oh, I still use my spreadsheet. Someone says, no, we have another fancy tool that's actually out there. Do you then get so many systems? People are getting retrained. People are getting more confused. We need to come and be on one page and say, for instance, we want a plan. Bring the teams together and say, what challenges are we facing when it comes to planning? What tools exist that can help fix it? Because at times it may not even be a tool. It may be a people issue. It may be a training issue as well. And so I want us to be more intelligent. I want us to think about project intelligence more as a strategic compass for us, where we are looking at the value and trying to really always assess to say, where is the challenge? Where is the problem? And then what exactly can we brainstorm and see what's out there that can help be that solution? And even as we do that, I want us to think about, especially like systems thinking. Remember, when you solve a problem, you may be creating another problem somewhere else.
Yes, that's right. Like you know, the secondary risk, for instance, when you are working on one risk, maybe another risk actually will come out. Yes, that's right.
Exactly. And again, we talk about what's it called, being a systems thinker. Those are the skill set I want to train my PMs. You think about the interconnected layers. You have a project, you deal with a particular problem, and you create another one for another person. Have you gone over to have those conversations to say, we're trying to create this particular solution? How exactly can I leverage it? How does it impact you? How can we ensure that we're creating synergies rather than just spending money and just spinning our wheels over and over again? And so I really want strategic leaders now who can actually stand up and say, beyond just, as you said, the time, the cost, the schedule, is how am I creating business value? Is it technology that I need to make it happen? That's okay. Is it people that I need? You know, is it strategic skills? Is it more engagement with my sponsors? Is it understanding what the market is? All those things need to come into play to ensure that we are ready to take on the future.
You know, I will share with you some information regarding my DBA research right now. Actually, I started the stage of the research. And when I started, the first issue actually I encountered regarding choosing or picking up the title of the research, and I chose at the beginning the AI and its impact on the project management methodology, for sure. Okay. And
everyone is doing that.
Yes, sure. Yes, I will tell you something. My supervisor started to say to me that don't go to AI. All people are mad about AI. Go for the thing actually will serve your projects and will serve for long time as a concept. Don't go for the thing actually which may be obsolete after some time, or it will maybe changed and another technology actually will come. So we have chosen another research topic and we are going on it right now. I know that you are pursuing your DBA, that's right?
That's right. Yes, back to school.
Yes. It's amazing. It's amazing. You are in which stage? You started the research or you are in the module stage?
Oh, yes, right now. I just came back. We had a couple of sessions in France, just analyzing, and we're going to be giving the first research proposal. But yes, it's more around that literature review, understanding what currently exists, thinking about how I can get the data to back up the ideas that I have. And again, it's tied back to intelligence and strategic leadership, shaping project management, to understand, what exactly are we already looking at? What else are the things that the future is actually telling us? We talk about sustainability. What practices can we leverage today? Because overall, for me, it's about how can we accelerate value for organizations? And so, yes, it's exciting, but also scary. I'm like, goodness, going back to school at this time, I'm like, oh my God. But it's exciting. It's, it's because it's an opportunity for me to keep learning. I think that's what it is for me, getting research-based, data to not just come out and say this is what it should be, but how can we ensure that we have data that can actually back up what the future should definitely look like? I'm super excited that I can do this alongside all the thought leaders as well.
Wishing you all the best. Some people actually thinking of the research and the DBA and the PhD programs like only the title of the research, but actually the process and the journey is giving you too many skills actually while you are going regarding connections, leadership, communication, research skills, and many others. Let me take some contributions actually over the chat box, and after that we can continue the discussion. Dr.
Awesome.
Talat is telling that authorities delegation it is a solution, and we agree with that. Actually, the project manager who is directing to leadership and strategic positions, actually he has to delegate, and he has actually to have some resources to help him or her in managing the project. Yes. Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, or Engineer Muhammad Abdul Hamid, saying project managers are essentially business leaders. Technical skills are validated in the marketing environment, and business acumen is key to making that happen. A project manager facilitates both project and organizational level integration, whereas achieving technical comes of scope, schedule, cost, and its impact. Making sure your project is in line with the portfolio strategic management, it's a critical. It's not new work. It's essentially the role or the real work regarding the value and the strategic objectives of the organization. Fola, another main concern actually in my mind while we are talking about project management and the future of project management with intelligence regarding our brain. You are telling me you have to be good on the technical side and as well also in the leadership and emotional intelligence and all of these aspects. Do we require actually to develop the whole brain approach to master the leadership while we are managing our projects?
I know, as you know, the whole brain approach is one that different thought leaders have actually talked about over the years. And it's interesting, like we talk about like the left brain, analytical, the right brain.
Yes.
The main key here is about bringing elements of, for instance, analytical creative thinking, leadership, collaboration, emotional intelligence, agility, and all that stuff. It's actually key because I love the idea of the whole brain because it brings me back to intelligence as well, because we want to bring a more of a holistic approach, balancing, creative thinking, analytical thinking as well, to ensure that we are adaptable and we can actually truly problem solve. And I love the idea of, I think, a thought leader called Daniel Pinks. He talked about the whole new mind. He advocates for integrating like the bright brain and to complement a traditional analytical piece of the other part of the brain for leadership, because you cannot it's just like trying to walk with one part of your hands, right? It's more of a holistic approach. And that's why, again, I come back to the idea of strategic confluence, where every different area has to come together, from leadership to emotional intelligence to agility. It's a case where we have to be critical when we think. We have to be able to, get that analysis done. And that applies from our risk assessment, process optimization, data-driven decision-making, innovation. It's everything that we see in different components. And so thinking about it as you as a being, the whole part of your brain has to be engaged, yes, indeed, to shape leadership. I really, really enjoy that. And there's so many books that talk about that. But it's definitely one that project managers, not even product managers as well, even leaders, like C-suite leaders as well, have started adopting a lot of elements around the whole brain approach. And in this, you can bring in even like social intelligence, cultural intelligence as well, but adapting this to create more of a holistic success. And that's pretty key.
It's amazing. Really, it's amazing. And I like regarding the holistic perspective while we are doing things from time to time, either actually on the risk management or even planning and even on the monitoring level while the implementation is going on. How critical, Fola, regarding the embracing the continuous learning and adaptation mentality while for the people actually working in the project management field? Is it critical actually? Is it required to have this mentality?
Oh my goodness, that made me smile so much. Just imagine, let's just go back to the basics. Imagine what life was like when we had to use typewriters. Remember just typewriters, right?
Yes,
there were no computers.
Yes, that's right.
And imagine you having someone who says, no, I don't want to use a computer. I just want to use a typewriter. And then they keep trying to type a letter and then they make so many mistakes. They have to pull it off and use like a T-Pex.
Yes, corrector.
And then exactly. And they come back and they tell you, Sammy, I've been trying to type my report, right? And it just took me like 3 hours. And then you can say, guess what? I have a keypad and I can just type. If I make a mistake, I just do delete. The key here is about adaptability. Goodness, I cannot emphasize the power of learning and being adaptive. I want to tie in even when it comes to business and agility and just change and getting those learnings in. I always love to reference organizations like Amazon. Amazon was an organization that started as an old bookstore.
Yes.
Because of learning, agility, they got feedback. They were always looking at the markets and stuff. They evolved to become the tech giants, right? We talk about Amazon Cloud and the service they actually provide. We talk about the shopping, the e-commerce side of things. Learning is a piece that every organization, every nation has to embrace. And I think about the Vision 2030, for instance. It's all about this mega projects that the kingdom is actually driving. And the one key ingredient for success is how can we quickly get our lessons, adapt those lessons, and go back and see how we can evolve and drive change. Oh, goodness. Learning, they says feedback is breakfast for champions. The project managers, the executive leaders who are really going to be here in the next decade and the next decade to come are those who are open to embrace change, are those who are open to get feedback, and those who are, ready to keep up with the rapid change because it's never going to slow down. We're talking about AI. Only God knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but we're going to have robots in the office. I don't know. We talk about that. So embracing continuous learning is the number one piece. I remember sitting in an interview for an executive position we were interviewing someone else. The CEO there said, a key thing I am looking for is a leader who is open to learn. I'm like, oh my God, beyond the technical skills, because I tell you, everything you learn in university, that's fine. But when you get into the workplace, you're going to keep learning, you're going to keep evolving, right? If you're not open to get feedback and change and embrace it, listen, you're only going to become redundant. We talk about Kodak. We talk about blockbusters, organizations that didn't actually adapt. They never were responsive to change and driving innovation. What happened to them? Just the same way as a PM, you need to think about yourself and say, how open am I to learn? When was the last time I sat down to just reevaluate myself and say, where am I at this particular point? Where do I want to get to? And what are people saying about me? Getting constructive feedback to say, how can I evolve? And how can I become the person that I want to be? Because your future self is going to thank you for it.
Yes, amazing. The human resources professionals are saying one sentence always. They are saying that people are hired for technical and fired for attitude and for lacking of the soft skills and the behavior, like what we are saying about continuous learning and adaptation. Last week episode actually was with Arab Management Council representatives, and we have mentioned the case of Kodak at the late of 90s, when they have ignored actually the digital camera. After that, they have found
exactly
out of the market. Good. Since they didn't consider regarding the other competitors and the adaptability.
That's right.
within the market. Yes, it's a big lesson, if we can say. And now most of people actually are talking about the challenge between balancing the human creativity and the digital automation. Many people would like actually to embrace the available tools and go ahead with the automation, and many people actually are saying no, the human resources are required and too required actually while we are managing our projects. How we keep this balance actually? How to consider it?
The thing is, the challenge of balancing like human creativity with digital automation is actually complex, and is a task that, especially in modern project management, we have to definitely look at and navigate. But I always tell leaders and all the PMs that I mentor is, put yourself in the driver's seat as the executive. Think about this. Organizations are out there because they want to be profitable, or they're out there because they want to make an impact. And so they want to get there in the fastest, cost-effective way. And so beyond just you being an employee and you feel that I am creative and bringing value, okay, but we have tools that can actually automate some of the processes. Why should they fire me, and why should they just get the tools? But I say I want you to become a leader and think like a business person and say, business decisions are being made every day. You either keep making yourself great that you become almost indispensable, or you sit back and just wait and see, because your job is going to be out very soon. Digital automation is, for me, it's about how can I streamline my process to become more efficient. I am always looking for ways to make my own processes simpler for me, so I could think about the more strategic stuff, the things that machines cannot actually do. So as a PM, for instance, we talk about strategic collaboration, understanding the market. Now you are going to free up time to go learn more of those things when you can automate and utilize tools to help you be more efficient with maybe some of the planning stuff or data entry, scheduling, or reporting. It's just for your own benefit. But always think about the benefits. Think about yourself as the executive every single time and say, how can I foster a culture of creativity, right? How can I leverage tools? How can I keep adapting to change? But always remember profitability, efficiency, impact, and value. And so when it comes to you, how can I keep upskilling? How can I stay relevant? And what tools can I leverage? If it's machine learning, artificial intelligence, whatever it is, how can I leverage those things to help me as a leader become more successful? Because the change that we're seeing today is just a start. Strap up for more.
You talk actually about strategic thinker. You are يعني what I got actually, it depends on the employee or the team member. Does he or she actually start to think regarding the available tools and to be adapted as well also with the marketplace and what tools we have right now, and started to see how they are going to utilize these tools. At the same time also to check, are we aligned actually with the strategic objectives of our organization, and we are helping actually to achieve these objectives or no? Amazing perspective. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Sameh. Yeah, because I think it's very, very important. At times I always say that the pieces, technology can be a tool for you. It could be a bull. It could be one that you're going to get scared about and say, this is, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit back and wait for it to just come in and erode me and take my role away? Or can I be more of that creative thought leader who is going to say, what things within my task can I even automate? How can I be more efficient? And then how can I free up time, right, to help me do the things that machines cannot actually do? There's that human level of there's intuition, build relationships with the people who are making these decisions and keep adding value from that perspective. So for me, technology is a tool. And if you want to make it that, it's a mindset shift where people are going to say, no, I don't want to just learn about that. I'm just okay with my role. But if you do not adapt or evolve, you actually are at risk of being extinct.
Amazing. There is one amazing question actually in the chat box from Dr. Ahmad. He's saying that, how can we distinguish or differentiate between project managers who have genuinely acquired the necessary skill sets to leverage intelligent approach and those who may be pretending or struggling to adapt?
I think...
How can we catch them, How can we catch them?
No, I think for us, we really don't want to start catching the PMs now from that perspective. But the fact is, right, everyone is on a journey. As you know, a key piece is about curiosity. Because we all haven't got all the answers. When you meet a project manager, or you meet maybe a business analyst, or you meet a PMO leader, one who may not have all the answers, but they're curious to actually learn to say, how can I do this differently? I have been in meetings, I remember, because I'm also on the board of so many organizations. And I remember sitting at the board meeting and I had some ideas. And one of the board members actually told me, oh, goodness, we're kind of comfortable the way we do things here. I'm like, okay. I thought we were here to create value for our members, create value for the organization. But you can already tell that that person doesn't have a growth mindset. That leader is all about your comfort zone. They just want to stay in that box and say, we kind of okay, just checking the box. We did that meeting and that's okay. They don't want to innovate. They don't want to actually adapt and change. So even from conversations, you can actually already tell who are the PMs who are open to learn, who are open to feedback. We will not have all the answers every time, but I will tell you, I will not rest until I get the answers. Okay. I want to build relationships. I want to support. I want to strive for growth. That's how you differentiate those PMs who really want to change, you want to adapt, because at the end of the day, things are going to get more complex. But are we really open to leverage the change that currently exists, the tools that currently exist. I still know some people who say, oh, ChatGPT or whatever it is, no, I don't want to talk, I don't want to look at it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's see what happens in the next year or so. Yes.
Amazing. Like you mentioned right now for the CEO and the interview, actually, for the guy, and he was searching for the leader qualities. Is it there or not? You know?
Yes.
You are right.
That's right. So in conversations, at interviews, because I remember someone says that you can teach technical things. It's easy. You get a book, you teach the process. Right. But at times the personality piece, people are just almost who they are. It's hard to get them to change. It's so difficult. It's not as if they cannot change. If you've got the willingness, you can actually adapt and change. But on the human relations side, it takes a lot of work for me to say, let's do things differently. You have to keep, talking and whining. And we want to create a better workplace. Imagine we spend the better part of our lives at work.
Yes, that's right. Most of the day hours, actually, we are spending in workplace.
That's right. You think about the normal workplace. We want to create environments where employees can actually thrive, where you do not need a vacation from the life that you've created for yourself. You want to be excited about your projects. You want to be excited about your team. You want everyone to work together. We may not all be friends, but at least we can actually build professional relationships together. And these comes with those soft skills. Yes. These comes with the relationship. This comes with the right mindset to say, yes, I'm open to learn. I just even remember the conversation I had with the former CEO of PMI. He was just one that he was just back when it comes to learning and sharing. I met another CIO from Vodafone. When I see leaders who have got a passion to share, to learn and give back, oh my goodness, I am just bubbling with joy, because you know that you're in a space where there's going to be growth. You know that they're not just looking at just management. It's that level of intelligence. It's about being more strategic, bringing everything together and be open to evolve, which is what we need today. So,
well, I'm enjoying that discussion, and I'm enjoying actually the insights you are presenting right now. Really, I'm
thank you so much.
Really. Mr. Muhammad Al-Shaghab is saying that many initiatives are conducted without proper SWOT analysis involving organization chief position holders. Yes, you are. I agree. Ines Ghazal, thanks a lot for your attendance and your time, is telling that workplace is your another home. It has to have healthy working environment, but support. Yes, sure. Yes. Thanks a lot, Ines. Right. Now, Fola, from the revolution, from the time actually we had witnessed the revolution of AI, many people actually are talking about the considerations and ethical considerations for the AI. And some people also are talking about the data concerns the organizations have, and many other considerations. What are the main considerations in your opinion, and how can we deal or treat it actually while we are applying the new technologies?
As you know, being ethical and those ethical considerations are one that we as leaders continuously, have to deal with. And without a doubt, especially when it comes to data now is king. Data is what we make decisions with organizations. Data can actually make or break nations and companies. But the thing here is around data privacy and security. We talk about how can we tighten our data privacy laws, and how can we ensure that we have the right tools that also prevents biases and unfairness when it comes to all of this. There's so many thought leaders that talks about the surveillance that should actually be there. What kind of data should you put out on the internet? How can we streamline our IT systems? Again, we talk about even transparency and accountability. What information gets out there? Who is that can actually see what? Sustainability, right? How can we sustain all of this when it comes to data? The thing here is, it's a piece that we as leaders have to become, I call them techno stewards. When it comes to technology, you need to be a steward of the data that you are putting together, even from your projects, right? You think about the lessons learned you gather. You think about information from different departments. How are you ensuring that you have the right people who should be privy to certain information actually looking at that. And so they obviously, I know we have IT departments that actually deal with, data security and data privacy. And with AI, it's one that is becoming more of a very, very louder voice where people are saying that, goodness, the robots are going to be doing way more. They're almost like learning even better than what we as leaders even know. And so it's a continuous process where we have to, work with data protection regulations, work with the leaders around that to see how we can also provide input, because you might have an idea to say, maybe why do we have a normal, like different types of firewall that covers a certain type of data? Or it might be a case where organizations limit certain type of AI tools that can only be used within that organization. But again, it has to be on a case by case basis. If you're more like, for instance, in a regulatory organization, data security has always been front and center. The way we've been able to manage that, AI is not going to be any different. We just have to keep adapting. We have to just ensure that the benefits of the organization, our privacy, our security, fairness, and biases are all taken into consideration. But overall, as a PM as well, you are a champion. You are a steward for ethical practices. You're a custodian for data integrity. You facilitate all of this, and you need to ensure that you promote sustainable technology, and that's what's key as well.
Yes, I see. When we have joined a global project management forum, which conducted on Riyadh, some of the colleagues actually who attended the workshop with me, especially when we are talking about AI, they mentioned that some of the organization is still afraid completely, or making it forbidden in their policy to use any of the AI tools while they are working regarding the data and data security. Is it to this extent?
No, the thing is, organizations, without a doubt, it's at times, with every technology, you always get the early adopters. You get the people who are bleeding edge, cutting edge, right? Well, as soon as something comes out, they're willing to test it and they want to, learn more about it. A lot of the times, I see organizations now who have actually rolled out Copilot, for instance, that's a Microsoft tool.
Yes, sure.
Now they're rolling it internally. So at least within their normal IT policies for data protection, the use of this tool, like any other tool, can actually be managed. Because when you think about it, right, we have always been exchanging information within the organization. You have always used third-party supplier tools, be it Microsoft, be it SAP, be it, all the different pieces that we already use in organizations. So your data is already been transmitted in a particular way, shape, or form. The key here is, how can you ensure your policies and privacies are tight enough so your employees can actually use it properly? Because employees face the risk of, when they actually don't introduce it within the organizations, people will take the data and go use it externally and even give them a bigger, more, a worse exposure to this, with this issue. Because I can almost believe that so many people, for instance, are using ChatGPT. And imagine, I know there was a case of someone who got some data from a legal contract and put it in ChatGPT, and that information got leaked. Yeah, so you can imagine that. And so a lot of the time, in order to manage this, again, it's all about the risk appetite and the risk threshold of our organization. They may pretty much have to do like a pilot. It's little size and say, how do we leverage this? But how can we do this in a more sustainable way? But without a doubt, having it centered policy within your organization is way better, because you risk the chance of employees taking the data out externally, which is even way worse when it comes to what the exposure could actually be like.
Yes, you are fully right. Actually, I remember that I have read about case in the court, and the lawyer in this case actually he got the information from the ChatGPT regarding what is the history, and he got it and he presented actually there, and finally he found that it's completely fake or something like need to be verified, and nothing called like this.
That's right.
It happened.
Yes, it does. So we just have to keep, be open, but more like baby steps. At least we can test things out, do like pilots. I don't believe in just going, the whole 9 yards, but how can we leverage it, do a pilot with a setting group and see, again, just as project leaders, right? You test, you get the lessons, you revalidate, and you come back in and adapt as well as you go.
I see. the last concern with me, the last big question actually we have, we can discuss it regarding the role, or if we can say what is the role actually of us, from us as experienced project managers, while we are preparing the new generation for the future of project management. How do you see it?
Oh my goodness, it's an area that I'm so passionate about, right? I spend time, I talk about project management, I talk about strategic leadership and how we can shape that. And now I went back to teach at my local university because I see the younger PMs people who want to become better and greater. And we definitely owe it to the next generation to give them the tools to be successful. And the beauty about what I love about project management is that for me, I see it as it's beyond a career. It's not a career. It is a lifestyle. You
Yes,
can use
yes.
this
I
skill
believe
in
in that.
business. You can use this in your personal life. And so even for accountants or lawyers or whatever, you can be better prepared to manage your cases as a lawyer. You can be better prepared to manage your home. It is a tool that our next generation can leverage to become more successful. I teach my kids about planning. We talk about you've got an exam. Okay, what's your project plan? You know, what is that? What are the requirements? What do I need to do? What's the timeline? What resources do I need? Listen, I'm talking about these are just teenagers now who are just starting to prepare for like high school. Yes, even my little one. And then they laugh about it. My daughter's writing a book around the next gen strategic project leaders. And it's interesting because we talk about how we apply this. It's like an adventure. The key here is our next generation project leaders are at the precipice of so much change. We need to ensure we foster a mindset. The key for here is about, we spoke about continuous learning.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Leveraging technology, right? Being open to feedback, you know? And now we talk about technology. They are just so fixated with YouTube and, you know, the internet and TV and stuff. How can we pull them away from them and get them excited about tools that can help them be successful? It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, an accountant, a project manager, an executive. You can leverage this, position yourself as a strategic project leader today and start seeing results. And so, yeah, I think from training, from giving them tools, from we role modeling this in the home so they can actually learn from us and implement the change, implement the little nuances to help them become more successful. I think is absolutely key. Just pretty much like show and tell. We show it, the next generation can actually see this piece and they can build the skills that they need to be more successful.
Amazing. I remember, Paula, you had a panel discussion in the Global Project Management Forum regarding how training actually can develop the project team or something like this. What are the best tools we can utilize to transfer or try to transfer this mindset to the people actually who are getting to work in the project management field or even the other people?
You remember there's something that I know, I don't know who stated this word that says, do not tell me, show me.
Yes.
Beyond just, you know, coming in and just say we have to do A, B, C, and O, D on all of this is how can we really become true leaders? I say, be the leader, you know, you've always wished you had. Let us demonstrate this. You know, we talk about mentorship. We talk about coaching. We talk about support. How can we role model this to our kids in the workplace, to our new grads, to the executives, where they see that, goodness, when it comes to like planning, Samuel has like his whiteboards, he shares lessons. Let us become more human. Let them see us as leaders who are just human, and then they can actually really learn because it's not just about giving them another textbook to read, right? We could read that.
Sure. Yes, sure.
You know, so you don't know what next. But when we demonstrate it, you know, from those informal conversations, see how we can use this skill beyond just the normal day-to-day execution and transformation and like just project work, things we even do outside of work and how we showcase that. I think the key here, the clear message is about let us show them. Let's not just tell them.
Amazing. Paula, I'd like to thank you for your time, for your efforts, for your presence. It's the first time actually to be here with us in our episodes, and I'm sure that it will not be the last time, and we are going to discuss more and more important topic like what we have discussed today. Really, thanks a lot.
Oh, goodness. I want to say thank you as well. It's been a great pleasure. I want to thank everyone who actually joined as well. It's always great to connect. We spoke about learning. It's all about a conference. It's all about community as well. Let us keep evolving. Let's keep growing. Connect us. Well, let me know, get some feedback. It's all about continuous learning. I want to learn as well. So connect, share, and let other people know that yes, change is happening and you are part of the people shaping change. I want to just say thank you and I celebrate all the work you're doing as well. And I cannot wait to be back again in the kingdom so we can keep pushing strategic project leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. To all of our listeners, thanks a lot. Thank you so much for your time and your attendance today. During July, we will not have episodes since we are going on short vacation, and we will come back, inshallah, on August to continue our discussions and our amazing topics with our distinguished guests. Thanks a lot. Shukran jaziran. See you, inshallah, on first week of August. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.